we really have some huge shoes to drop here in the coming weeks and months. We have student loan resuming, student loan payments, and we have probable interest rate hikes going forward, albeit somewhat small. But the longer this goes, the more of a drag on the economy, but more of a drag on people's personal financial statements. The longer it drags on corporate financial statements, the government's financial statements, right? So we're in this very precarious position of what pin is going to prick the bubble and really take everything out. And you go on to looking at different scenarios and the things that are going to play out. So we always talk about being prepared here. So I want to kind of bring it back to what we've talked about forever, right? Buying Bitcoin, guns, lead, ammo, firearms, gold, silver, food, energy, water, security, land, and community. Building community, the number one thing. What we do here every day digitally, and building a network around the world, and then building community around you, knowing your local rancher, knowing your local sheriff. We have massive, massive headwinds in front of us. We have cultural rot, cultural decay, bio wars, misinformation wars, cultural wars going on. We have all these things going on that we have to really prepare our mind, body, and spirit for. There's no other way to say it. This is truly a fight of good versus evil, because that's what life is, right? The Bible talks a lot about good versus evil, right? There's God, or if you believe in evil, then the polar opposite is God, or vice versa, right? If you believe in God, then you have to know that there's the devil as well. Satan is real, and it's a fight versus good versus evil. And we have many people out here trying to control narratives, trying to control speech, trying to censor people, trying to burn books, et cetera, et cetera. We have so many things going on at play here, and generally the good people just want to be left alone. And it's almost always the people operating for the chaos agent that are trying to control people. They're in positions of power trying to control their people. And that's just law of averages. It's obviously not absolute, but that's just a law of averages. So we have to be very cognizant of that, but we have to prepare. Our job, I feel like our test every single day is we are being tested, and we are tested with the knowledge we know. With great power comes great responsibility. With great knowledge comes great responsibility. We have to start understanding where we are in this game on the chessboard, and get prepared for the things that are coming. So watch out, obviously, for student loan repayments coming. It's going to drop sooner or later. What's going to happen in the drag on the economy with interest rates being higher? The interest on the debt that America has to pay is massive. Your Social Security number is your assignment of debt at birth, and it's an insidious enslavement system. The bond market, root word of bondage, an enslavement system to enslave you with debt and be serfs and be the person like the Matrix in the machine, in the bubble, working for the people who control the system. And just look around you. Look at the biggest buildings in the world. Start wondering and fancying your mind to who controls the world, who controls the money, right? It's not follow the science, it's follow the money. Start following the money. And that's why we advocate. It's not financial advice, it's freedom advice. And that's why we advocate for Bitcoin. I'm watching a documentary right now, which I've never seen before, but the rise of Bitcoin, following some young guys, young families, and they were mining Bitcoin 10 plus years ago. And it's an unbelievable documentary. I'm halfway through with it. It's about an hour and a half, but it's an unbelievable documentary, and it really hits all the main points. And it really goes through the freedom that it affords every single person on the planet, period. Taking the issuance of money out of the hands of the few and putting it back in the many, where it's supposed to be, where it's been for forever. And for whatever reason, it's not now. But in the future, again, it'll be back in the hands of the people. So we're living through this chasm, this fourth turning, this crazy time. But we have to stand strong. We only need 3%. 3% to shift change. That's what happened in the American Revolution. We talk about this here a lot as well. That's what shifted the change. We have to be the people that stand in the face of evil, period. And evil is different for every person. That's what we have to understand as well. So we have to know where we're at, be prepared. This is insurance buying time. Anytime there's peace, or somewhat peace, I guess, or at least peace in your life, there's peace, for the most part here in America. Times are kind of quiet, I should say, a little bit more quiet. There's obviously war going on in the Middle East, in the East, Ukraine. But in America, there's relative peace and quiet. These are times to prepare, the times to learn, times to grow, time to buy resources and learn skills and develop relationships with other people. We have to get prepared for what is coming. We know things are coming. That's the cycles of life. As Jim Rohn always says, guys, I can tell you what the next decade is going to be like. It's going to be a lot like the last decade. Here's your big secret. Spoiler alert. It's going to be a lot like the last decade. A lot of crisis mixed with a lot of opportunity. That's it. So let's get prepared. Let this be the call to action, to get prepared, to prepare ourselves, our mind, body, and spirit, and our families and the people around us. This has been the journey I've been on for 10, 12 years now, literally leaving professional hockey because I knew things were coming. Don't know if they're bad or good. Depends on who you are, right? If they're bad or good or not. I just knew things were coming. I knew S was going to hit the fan, and I had to get myself prepared, had to develop my skills, had to develop the ability to take care of those around me, the people around me, and educate my family and the people, anyone who would listen to the things that are going on in the world. It's not a fun subject to talk about. It's not the most lucrative thing, that's for sure. But it's what calls me in here, and it's what tugs at my heart. And I know the calling I've had for 20 years. So I appreciate you being here, being part of this community, because we're going to need each other more than anything going forward. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, and really putting my thoughts, my truth out there, and telling my story over and over again, because we have to build a community in any way possible, whether it's the local sheriff, the local rancher, the people around you, your neighbors, and your local farmer, and getting friends and family, people around you, or digitally people around the world who think like-minded, so we can galvanize together and we can be the people that lead the revolution of freedom and prosperity and wealth and property rights to all 8 billion people. This is the goal. This is the game. This is the greatest game, that Jess Booth says. So please share us out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify. Not financial advice, freedom advice. And appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.